Welcome everyone to the Side Draft Podcast. This week we're reviewing the Xfinity Series race from Road America. So there was no Cup guys in this race. Xfinity guys got to go at it with some IndyCar racers, and also a Hall of Famer, Bill Elliott, joined this race.
Yeah, it was a rookie and a Hall of Famer at the same time.
So only Bill Elliott can be a rookie and a Hall of Famer at the same time. So
he is awesome, Bill. So I guess he's
So it was a very interesting race. We had different names in different cars. You had Davison in 18. You had Connor Daly in the 6 car.
Yeah, and they would show up their strengths in the race too. So.
Yeah. So reviewing stage 1 at the beginning of the day, we had Matt Tifft. He won the pole. It was a great pole run for him, and see if he could claim a win at Road America.
Yeah, I mean he's always finished a couple times. Finished second here, so he always runs good here at Road America. So go through and see what he did.
So Austin Cindric in the 22, he had to start from the rear for changing tires. He had an awesome car, really, but he just locked it up, had to change tires, and would see him climb his way to the top in that race. And Bill Elliott would start the race in 23rd, just trying to get used to the car, and he ended up doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, he did a pretty decent today. I mean, he had an up and down day. It's pretty interesting.
We had Cup drivers here, but it was not in the race. We had Chase Elliott and Ryan Blaney in the spotter stands. Chase spotting for his dad and Blaney spotting for Austin Cindric.
A little change of roles right there, just to get them to understand what the spotters go through. And so I hope it was a good learning experience for them.
Another car would have to go to the rear, which would be Kaz Grala in the 61. And as we begin the race, Matt Tifft had a very strong car in the beginning. We had a 4-car battle for the lead with Cole Custer, 18 to Davison, and Christopher Bell. It was like a little parade going on that no one couldn't pass each other for a little while. Started to get a little bit racy, and then the 66 car along would spin, causing a caution on lap 3. And, I said it was a long time, but these laps were very extremely long.
Yeah, I mean, it's 4 miles track is. It seems like forever for a caution. So go out, order your pizza or something.
You could walk, go get your pizza before when the caution laps would come back. But
did I miss anything? No, we're going green now. Okay.
Then during that caution, the 55, James Finch would be in the sand. Lap 7, as we went back to green, the 16 car went to the wall. Would end his day. Very tough day for Roush Fenway altogether.
Yeah, it took a while for him to throw the caution out. I guess I was waiting for him to see if he can get moving, but the way the splitter was all digging in the ground, he couldn't get nowhere. So.
Which, if it wasn't for that splitter, if we'd take that splitter off, I believe we could have had a lot more green flag runs there.
Yeah.
We had my pick, Brandon Jones, in the 19. He'd go around. Bill Elliott would get some damage from that. Just couldn't break in time for the guy in front of him. And a lot of cars would get some damage from that. And Matt Tifft would win stage 1. And the top 5 in that stage was Matt Tifft, Bell in 2nd. Brendan Gaughan, he's making another start today in 3rd. 4th would be Justin Marks. It's always nice to see him. And 5th place, we had the 51 of Jeremy Clements, and he loves this place.
Yeah, he actually won last year, so he always runs good here. It's good to see him in the top 5.
As stage 2 would begin, we had a little bit of pit strategy there. We had the 22 staying out. He had Hemrick in the back with he pitted earlier in that first caution, and saw differing strategies there with tires, fuel, and would see how well that would play out. Daniel Hemrick would run down the 22.
Yeah, the 22 had an amazing car. I mean, he really didn't pit any tires, but he really took off and Hemrick had a really awesome car too.
They've had really good cars, but the 22 just his car, something happened, I believe, with the engine. It just expired, and
Yeah, that's pretty bad when you lead the race and the engine just lets go. But he did get pushed back to pit road.
and that would ultimately end his day. Nothing he could really do at that point. Really sucks for Cindric though, because he ran pretty good in Mid Ohio, lost the race at the end, ran pretty good at Road America, lost the race in stage 2. So
It seems like when he runs good, something happens. But he's going to end up being in victory lane pretty soon.
yeah, we got the Roval coming up. I'm pretty sure he'll be pretty good there.
Yeah.
As we move on, we would have Daniel Hemrick taking the lead, and he would go on to win the stage. And that would be his 3rd stage win of the season. We'd have Hemrick, Matt Tifft, Elliott Sadler, Bell, and Allgaier in 5th.
Yeah, it's really good for Hemrick. I mean, he's really seems like he's picking up some steam right now, and it's a really good time to be shining and get ready for the playoffs coming up. So I think that team's going to be pretty strong in the playoffs.
So more strategy would begin in stage 3. We had Bill Elliott. He'd be in the top 10 for staying out. Catherine Legg in the 15. She would start in 3rd.
Yeah, she actually did pretty good on the restart. So she was holding her own and until about lap 24 when she kind of wheel hopped or something and split around.
Yeah, we had a weird camera angle. We couldn't really see if she got a little bit of help or if she just lost it. But I'm pretty sure she's used to like lighter cars, so it's very possible that she wheel hopped very easily. But
yeah, she's run real strong in the Xfinity race, and it's good to see that team, getting some TV time and really shining out and doing good.
she ran pretty good even after she spun. She passed a few cars and battled Bill Elliott. I mean, that'd be pretty cool to say, even if you did have a bad finish, you at least battled Bill Elliott for a position.
Yeah.
The 3 car would lead of Brendan Gaughan. The 7 and the 20 Christopher Bell would go off track on lap 27. The 45 car would go off track at lap 28 and would have caution out on lap 29. That was a wild ride there, wasn't it?
It's like, can we just stay on the track, people?
I believe that caution was for fluid from the 9 car, and everyone.
Yeah. He's still playing the Mario Kart, trying to get some. He had some oil or something. I think it's what caused 11 to slide off the track and a couple other ones.
Yeah, we saw a lot of cars go off in the grass all of a sudden, and then caution out, and they had Reddick in the sidelines there, and then it was under commercials, so we didn't know exactly what happened until about a few minutes later. So that was a wild ride there.
Yeah, I guess he wanted to try to make it interesting for him.
And speaking of wild rides, we would have Ryan Sieg up front after the caution. He'd be up in the lead. Allgaier takes it over very quickly, but Sieg remains in 2nd. Then Brendan Gaughan, I don't know if he just took the turn too hot there, but he would get up into the 21, and that would put Ryan Sieg up into the dirt as well, and he'd get trapped in the sand pit, and he'd be doing a few burnouts trying to get out of there. But unfortunate for Daniel Hemrick as well. He was running pretty good until that happened.
Yeah, he had a fast car. He's coming up through the field, and he had fresher tires and stuff, so he's coming up through there. And I don't know if Brendan Gaughan just like he ran off the track and just bumped him a little bit, and then not Hemrick off track, but Hemrick, he would just continue on. He didn't lose too many positions, but he kept racing his way through the field.
And Hemrick says that he wants the best room at South Point from Brendan Gaughan. And he had a pretty good run. I think he possibly could have ran up there with Allgaier if it was not for that little mishap there between the two.
Yeah, because that was right there, top 5 or something when that happened, and he got put back to about 10th to 15th, something like that. So I believe if that wouldn't happen, he'd have been chasing down Allgaier.
Casgrollo would go around to lap 34. 10 to go, and the 18, Davison, would catch the 7. And then we'd have caution out for the 45 of Josh Bilicki. He would have a scary crash into the wall. Lap 37, glad to know that he was okay after that one.
Yeah, he would retire from the race because he ran to the tire wall.
So then we would line them all up again after 5 minutes because caution laps are very long here. You got a lot of time to debrief. You got 10 to go. You got to think what's going to happen, how you're going to nail this restart. And 18 to Davison, he had an amazing restart there with Justin Allgaier and took the lead. Bill Elliott would go off track, and the 18 would wheel hop, and the 7 would get the lead.
Yeah, he came a little hot in the turn and kind of wheel hop and give the Allgaier the advantage because Allgaier right there on his heels.
The 38 would be off track with 5 to go. I think if we had a drinking word on this podcast, it'd be off track.
Off track.
And another off-track moment would be the 2. They had him and the 20, Christopher Bell, would bump each other for a little while until Bell finally got around. 2 would catch back up to Bell and just, I don't know if he just came in there hot or if that was intentional, but he would send the 20 up into the grass, and that would cost him in the points.
Yeah, he went way back in the field, so... Yes, it's going to cost him a little bit in the points, but he's still locked in, so it ain't that bad.
The 42 would catch the 18 for second place, and the 3 car would be off track along with the 36.
And I ain't sure what happened right there. It is all just something about that. Was it the Canadian corner?
Yeah, the Canada corner.
The Canada corner. So everybody's just sliding off.
Yeah, they call it Calamity Corner, I think, but.
The Canadian Calamity Corner.
Yeah, that's what they need to call it. But the 42 would finally catch the 18. They'd have an awesome battle, and they end up both spinning because of that.
Yeah, it looked like Justin Morris, he got on the inside, and 18 just cut him off. I don't know if the spotter didn't really know or say anything, but it's just a racing deal, and they both would do a synchronized spin.
And Justin Allgaier, he had a pretty nice lead, pretty easy win as long as he kept it on the track, don't wheel hop, don't do nothing. As long as you just drive it as slow as you want, because you got a big gap, probably going to win this race. And that he did.
Yeah, Hemrick, he was coming on at the end, and he raced the way all the way up to what, third?
Third position.
Wow.
So Justin Allgaier would claim another road course win at Road America.
He's getting to be a regular road course guy here.
A road course ringer, possibly, as Dale Jr. said on Twitter, he deserves a cup ride, and hopefully someday he gets that.
But maybe him going to the GoPro Motorplex is kind of helping him out.
Maybe. So before we get into how our picks did, we just want to give an honorable mention. We had the 2 of Matt Tifft. After a long day, he would finish second after the battle with Christopher Bell. And we'll see if there's a little bit of rivalry between him and Bell in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And Ross Chastain would finish in 7th.
Yeah, he finished in all the stages. I mean, top 10 in all stages. So that was real good for that team. They got some good stage points.
Yeah, he's going to be in the 42 in the playoffs.
That's going to be interesting.
It's going to be pretty interesting to see.
He's a real good driver, so we're going to see what he does in the 42.
If he could finish 7th and, in a team that has, lower funding and still does awesome, I wonder how he'll do in like a Chip Ganassi type equipment.
We'll see.
And Jeremy Clements in the 51 would finish in 13th, so he had some strategy. Didn't necessarily work out, but still a good finish for him.
Oh, yeah.
And Catherine Legg, after spinning, she would finish in 14th.
That's real good recovery from her. She ran a good race today, and she had a really strong car, and I believe she might be looking at doing some oval tracking too.
And Bill Elliott would finish in 20th after starting 23rd. So he would, pretty good day for him. It's not a win, but he didn't crash out of it or anything, so he did pretty good.
Yeah, he had his own in there, and he finished the race, so that's real good.
It was an iconic start for Bill Elliott. You know, we haven't talked about him being in a race for several years, and we finally get to talk about him. And how amazing is it that we talk about Bill Elliott in a podcast?
That's pretty cool. He talked about a Hall of Famer, on our podcast and racing like that.
And our picks, my pick was Brandon Jones. He would have a spin very early on and finish 9th.
And mine was Daniel Hemrick, and he had a real strong car, and he come back and finished 3rd.
So next week is Darlington Throwback Weekend. We have some throwback paint schemes, Cup drivers, and we're throwing back to Dale Jr. We have new logo for next week, so it's gonna be pretty exciting to have a new logo.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, I always liked the Budweiser car of Dale Jr. and I always used to see him in that, and it looks pretty cool.
So we'll be throwing back to Dale Jr. for a week, and as soon as after Darlington, we'll go back to the regular old side draft logo. But for now, we're going to get to honor Dale Jr. But several Xfinity guys will be looking to take it to the Cup guys next week at Darlington, see if they can throw it back to when those beating the Cup guys. So who are you going with for Darlington?
I'm not sure who's going to be in the 22 car, the Penske team, but I'm going to go with the 22 because I ain't sure if Blaney's going to be running it. So they always run strong there, so we'll see.
I'm going with the 98 Kevin Harvick. I think Cup guys rule in this series, especially when it comes to a track like Darlington. The way the tires fall off here, I think Cup guys know how to save their tires a little bit more, and I think he'll get it done.
Okay.
So we'll see you next week for the Darlington review. We'll see who can get it done. We'll see you next time on the Side Drive Podcast.